Hi, first grade friends. It's Mrs. Bryan here. We're going to start out with the Pledge of Allegiance and our new at-home pledge. Go ahead and join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And we're going to change our Buckeye Valley West pledge to be, at home, we will be respectful, responsible, and safe. And that is an important message for everybody right now because we are spending so much time at home that we need to be respectful of everybody's. We need to be responsible for our actions and treat everybody in a safe manner. So I'm going to start out with Happy St. Patrick's Day. And let's start out with some riddles because riddles are fun on St. Patrick's Day. The first one I have is, how did the leprechaun get to the moon? Do you know that one? In his shamrocket. Why do people wear shamrocks on St. Patrick's Day? Do you know that one? It's because real rocks are too heavy to wear. And our last riddle for right now is, why do frogs like St. Patrick's Day? Think about this one. Because they're always wearing green. Aren't those fun? So today, I'm not going to share a story, but in the next few days, I will be sharing a story that will go along with some of our reading lessons that we're unfortunately not being able to have at school. So the first thing I have is called The Lively Leprechaun by Betsy. I caught a lively leprechaun with stubble on his face. He promised loads of buried gold and led me to the place. But when I let him loose to dig, he leaped and led a chase. That lively, laughing leprechaun had left without a trace. And that's what tricky leprechauns do. Another one is Leprechaun's Gold by Janelle Wagstaff. This is fun. I met a little leprechaun with bags and bags of gold. He needed to help to carry them, for he was very old. I volunteered to do it, but much to my surprise, the gold was really chocolate, covered in disguise. I really love chocolate, and so I had to say, "Dear leprechaun, I'm sorry, friend. I ate your gold today." And our last poem for today, The Wearing of the Green by Lenore Hattrick. The sky has turned a robin's blue. The sun is bright and golden too. The children's cheeks are apple red, and the clouds are rosy overhead. And why this fine and bright display? Why all these colors this March day? Sure, and the colors they mean to match the wearing of the green. The branches of the trees are singing, birds up in the sky are winging, the river hums a merry tune, and even the rocks start dancing soon. Now why such merry revelry? Why the cause of all this glee? Sure, and it's easy to be seen, they're matching the wearing of the green. So, and today, before we finish up, I do want to remind you that your adults at your home are there to help you. And so if you have questions about things, you need to ask them. And also that your mamas and dads or whoever you're with are still probably trying to do their jobs from home too. And so it's important that you be the independent first grader that you've grown to be in my classroom, and you can show your parents that you can do this at home, because you can. I also want to talk a little bit about the poems that I just read. The poems, if you were really listening, you were probably getting a picture in your head. And some of you might want to do some poetry writing to help you understand or help you understand your feelings through this time. Remember, poems are about, all of those senses that we have, or what we see and what we hear, what we smell, what we taste, the kind of feelings that we have, and maybe expressing what we are feeling right now. It might be a good way for you to let your adults know, even if you can't talk to them. And you know what? I think it's important that we finish on some fun too. So we have 3 more riddles. And if you were doing a good job before, you might have some answers to these too. What happens when you find a horseshoe? You know, those are lucky things. It means a horse somewhere is barefoot. And another one. What do you get when 2 leprechauns have a conversation? A lot of small talk. And the last one before I leave you for today. What's a leprechaun's favorite kind of music? Shamrock and roll. Hopefully you're rocking and rolling and getting ready to do some Schoology courses tomorrow. You've been assigned them, and hopefully your parents have gotten you onto Schoology and helped you to do that. And hopefully you'll be able to do that independently. I want you to think about having a great St. Patrick's Day. And tomorrow we're going to be learning about retelling our stories. So I'm going to, go right off of where Mrs. Mock left off on Friday. And we're going to listen to a story and understand what the teaching point would be and how we can use it in the reading that we have. So it's really important that you are trying to do most of the work that we are setting out for you, so that when we get back to school, you are right and prepared, ready to come back. So I will see you tomorrow, and hopefully you can send me some messages too. I'll make sure when I send this to your email that you can send back some messages to me, maybe even some pictures of you wearing your St. Patrick's green today. Have a wonderful day, friends.